But Jim, 500 games in charge of Stockport, can't we? It's an incredible achievement. Try and put into words what it means to you personally.
Yeah, I guess it's a massive milestone. I never really thought about the 100, the 200, the 300, but obviously now we come to today, and it's the 15-year anniversary of my first game in charge. So, yeah, just on reflection, when I take a step back from myself and look in, it is an incredible achievement.
I was going to say 15 years to the day since that first game against Cheltenham. When you look back to then, could you ever have imagined that the journey or journeys really that you were about to go on with the club?
You never think that far ahead. It's like the day I made my debut here as a player. I never expected to be here for 10 years, the whole decade, and to have all the success we had and play so many games. So you set out with them intentions just to do a good job and be in the team next week and be in a job next week. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey. And but yeah, when the day I stepped in, I was caretaker, so I was only really coming in to try and give the club time to find the right manager to get them out of troubles. Fortunately for me, the 2 or 3 weeks that I had as caretaker worked out so well. The spirit was lifted, the team started performing and winning, and they stuck with me. And I went on to have a tremendous next 3 seasons with the club, and it was the greatest time of my management career. We've had some ups and downs since then, but it's nice to come back. I think what will be almost 6 years now, but we've seen year-on-year growth. We're heading in the right direction, and the journey continues.
There's been so many amazing memories to look back on. What have been the standout moments for you personally?
I think the day that I walked out here as caretaker manager was one of the, just the emotions I felt that day was just incredible. The feeling from the crowd, the hope, the spirit, the appreciation of, I guess, of me as a player and me starting the journey as a manager was an incredible day. I think playing here against Swindon to set the league record, it was just an incredibly proud. Whereas the first day was a brilliant day as a person and a manager, that was a very, very proud day. I can't imagine ever being any prouder than that as a coach, to coach a team into 9 wins with 9 clean sheets. I'm incredibly proud of a group of players that achieved that. We've had playoffs, Wembley, promotion, winning as champions. So there's been some incredible days along the way, but those 2 in particular probably stand out in terms of how it felt internally. Obviously when we were champions I enjoyed it, but they will be special moments for our fans who externally the jubilation, the adoration, the appreciation you get is incredible.
Obviously you'll be keen to mark the occasion with another win. Is the message to the players now more of the same from what you saw on Monday against Wrexham?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It'd be very easy for us to send that message, but we also have to understand that Wrexham made it a lot more difficult second half, and I'd imagine anybody that studied that game will want to make sure that we don't do what we did in the first half. So we have to accept those challenges. But yeah, there was lots of things about that game that had been talked about for weeks and hadn't seen against Altrincham at their place, Moss Lane. Seen here, the retention from set plays, the willingness to play through the lines, the willingness to spread the game, the willingness to give the front players the right type of ball, and then asking them to make things happen, play off each other, break the back line, create crossing shots, set plays, and there was so much that was positive about the game on Monday that we'd like to see a lot of that replicated.
Obviously it's only been 7 days since we last played Altrincham away on Boxing Day. How does that affect the planning and preparation, playing these 2 games so close together?
Yeah, there's a lot of things out of that game that if you went back to back, you'd probably it'd be a bit, you'd be sussed each other out a little bit, and you'd be looking maybe to try and get a tactical edge. I think both teams have played a game in between, which has obviously affected the thinking, perhaps on in terms of what they need from the game, or how they approach the game, or how the game may pan out. We played a different shape, they faced a different shape, and were found wanting for a short period in that game, conceded 3 goals. So there's those things that will affect their thinking, and of course you have the odd player absent or injured, or so all those things will make this game seem similar, but in some ways, and in many ways maybe very different. So I'm looking forward to us learning from what we did in that game, but also what we did on Monday, and if we can roll all those positive aspects together and make sure that we acquit ourselves really well today, it'd be a massive 3 point for us for the start of this new year.
I thought it was interesting on Boxing Day when we went to Altrincham, we matched up their shape, we went to a 4-2-3-1. Without giving too much away, do you look to do similar today, or do you go with the formation that worked so well on Monday?
I think it all depends on the strengths of your players. I think in that particular game that we've not been taught. I've tried to get the players to stop thinking, and maybe the fans to stop thinking about a shape as such. The principles are that you have a +1 at the back, and if you have a +1 at the back, you should be reasonably solid defensively, and also you have the opportunity to start play from the back. One of the lamentable things this season has been the fact that we've had those opportunities, whether that be Torquay or Notts County, to use that +1, and we haven't. So I think in the last two games we've definitely shown a more willingness to start the play and move the ball across the pitch on the ground. Then the tricky bit is how to break their back four or their back five. It happened to be Wrexham. Do you play through the lines, over the lines, or go round them? And I think that we found all those solutions very much in the Wrexham game. We found a lot of solutions. I mean, despite the result of 1-1, we had 15 chances, created 15 corners. On any given week, when you have that much possession and that much penetration, you should score more than one. So on the balance of the game, we perhaps deserve to win that. So there's a lot about that game that we should take out of it. But that game suited those players, and to allow us to then go into the next game and maybe freshen it up, we felt that Jamie Stark, Richie Bennett, Macaulay would all add something, especially if they were able to play in a system that suited them best. And we found that solution in that game, and it worked really well for us. And it was a very uplifting game, not just in terms of spirit and the potential of the team, but also in terms of the 3 points and where it uplifted us from mid-table to the top four. And I think now we've had a taste of that type of football and that type of result, we want the same again today.